So we're going to be looking at a scenario where my community makes a WICSO. We are on episode 4, I believe. And in the last episode, we saw more countries, mainly 2 new countries, being this Oslo country and Stockholm forming up in Scandinavia, as well as Ireland becoming pretty powerful, and the new taxation this southern Spanish country is making for any country that comes into the Mediterranean. If you guys enjoyed this series, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into this episode. First, we are going to be starting off with this whole taxation thing. More and more countries are getting angry about this taxation, mainly the Cypriots. Now, yes, they could trade through the Red Sea, but no one's really over here, and they haven't went that far. They haven't even went out of the Red Sea. So really, all they can really trade with is through the Mediterranean, and as well as Ireland is mad because they can't export their goods throughout the Mediterranean Sea. So we see the Cypriot leader. He travels through and out of the Mediterranean after paying his tax, and he goes up to the Irish capital. And they've just worked out something. They both form the Mediterranean Pact. This alliance is to stop the taxation that is going through the Mediterranean Sea. With the creation of this new alliance, the southern Spanish country is not super happy about this. But now we need to move to other topics, like Italy. Because we see the central Italian country crossing over and making a landing inside of the Balkans. They start exploring more land around the Balkan area. And soon enough, they go ahead and annex all this land, and now they can finally expand again outside of the Italian peninsula. After this expansion, we need to go down over to Muxter. We see Muxter expanding up north a little bit more, taking all of these lands. And now we just need to go a little bit more east to the Cypriots. The Cypriots are the strongest militant country in the world at this point. They're also probably the biggest country in the world. But the one thing about the Cypriots is their stability. And now we see Anatolia rebelling away from the Cypriots. This rebellion has popped up a few times before, but this is the strongest it's ever been because the more resources it has in hunters' expansion over in this area. So we end up seeing this rebellion expanding its first moves around this Mediterranean coast. But Muxter, like what he did last time, he is going to start helping out against this rebellion against the Cypriots, making landings throughout the Aegean Sea coastline. But helping this rebellion is only making his stability go down even further, even though he's still helping out. The good thing is for Hunter, his new alliance, the Square Alliance, has just been made, so Irish troops are going down to help out the Cypriots. But then there's one little problem, that being Spain. The Spanish are not letting the Irish through, and this is leading to more pushback by this rebellion, and even regaining some of their land over in this area. Once this rebellion gets about right here, we see a defensive line of Cypriot troops get set up. But with this stoppment of this front line right here, we see this rebellion focusing in on regaining their lands over in Anatolia. And we even see Crete rise up with this rebellion. We do see some pushbacks by the Cypriots, and they're getting pretty far back, which is going to recall some troops off of this front line here. But it's no use as the Greeks are fully kicked out of Anatolia. This island is taken. This war is going to be stalemated like this for a little bit, and as it is, we're going to go look at other stuff. Like Crimea, exploring more north. They're getting pretty dang far up into these northern regions of Ukraine. We then see them annexing all of this land. The Red Italians over here are going to be expanding a lot. First up, they explore into these areas quite a bit more, like what the Italians did. By exploring all of this, they then annex a crap ton of it, and they even decided to move their capital city over to this Slovenian area. Moving back over to the rebellion, we see Hunter's troops doing quite well against the rebellion. The Cypriots are beating back this rebellion all the way back to their original border, in which the Cypriots are unable to actually push through and take back the rest of this land. The Cypriots do retake Crete and this island right here, but the Iberians are still being a pain to the Irish. And we actually do see the start, we see Muxter joining up with the Square Alliance, and this is official. We now go to the trade route as we see this rebellion making work to destroy the work that Hunter has been putting into making this. But once the Cypriots start pushing back, the rebellion is going to stop doing this. And now we see the Greeks pushing into this area of Anatolia once again. The Cypriots are also going to start pushing back into this area right down here in the south. But after this, it's really stalemated. And we actually see the rebellion kicking out Muxor's troops once again. After this, we see a peace treaty begin to get worked out between the Cypriots and this rebellion. But there is still current fighting going on down at this border, so we'll look at this peace treaty later in the video. Speaking of Ireland, we see them fully annex the northern part of Scotland. Going up now over to Finland, we see some Stockholm people crossing over and making a landing over inside of this Finnish area. They explore very quickly, and soon enough, they want to stay here and set up their own country. So we see a new Finnish country getting set up. The leader of this one is Your Brother in Christ. And they put their capital city right here. Oh my god, a peace treaty has finally been worked out between the Cypriots and the Anatolians. So first, the Cypriots have to give up this territory over here, but they do gain this part right here. And the rest of this is going to be split between 4 new Anatolian countries. The first one is going to be owned by Anatolian Horde, and his is going to be up in this northern region right here, and it's going to be colored like this. Next, we have Mr. Nicoverse owning this part right here, and the rest of this gets split between 2 other ones. First, we have Random House. He's going to be getting this side. And finally, we have A Rock Green Turkey going right there. 4 new Anatolian countries are now here, and the Cypriots' influence has decreased a lot. They no longer have that border with Constantinople to build that trade route through and all the way up to Scandinavia, so they might have to go around Africa. But they can't really do that if the Iberian team is still annoying them. And for capital cities, the blue one, it's going to go there. For Random House here. And for these 2, Boom and Boom. So here are our 4 new Anatolian countries. Anyways, now that there are more countries inside of the world, after Hunter's rebellion has won, we need to go up over to this Caspian country. They are going to be expanding a lot. By a lot, I mean all of this. Now, yes, they do go through the Caucasian Mountains, but they now connect up with the Black Sea. Speaking of connecting up, we also see cheese connecting up with Caspia. So now there is a trade going from Caspia, the Caspian Sea, all the way up to Scandinavia. Of course, there's not a trade route, but there could be trade going from Caspia to Scandinavia. Anyways, that is going to do it for this episode. By the time you're seeing this video, I should be back from my trip. And if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.